Genoa City is never short of fireworks, but the week of October 7th promises to set off emotional explosions no one will forget. The long-simmering tension between two powerhouse women, Nikki Newman and Jill Abbott, finally reaches a boiling point. In a town where grudges are currency and alliances are fleeting, the war between these two grand dames of the young and the restless will send shockwaves through their families, their businesses, and the entire Newman-Abbott landscape. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. This isn't just another boardroom battle or social snub. It's personal, it's raw, and it's about legacy, loyalty, and power. Let's dive deep into the creative web of drama, betrayal, and ambition set to unfold on Y&R this week. Nikki's calm before the storm. At the beginning of the episode, Nikki Newman appears to be her usual polished, composed self, wearing confidence like a well-tailored gown. Yet beneath that serene exterior lies a storm she's been holding back for far too long. Nikki has been walking on a tightrope ever since she took on the leadership mantle at Newman Media, balancing Victor's demands, Victoria's ambitions, and the lingering shadows of her past. She's been proud of how far she's come, sober, strong, and stable. But Jill's latest stunt threatens to unravel all that progress. The week begins with Nikki in her office, going over reports with Claire and Audra. A subtle tension runs through the air. Audra's been unusually quiet, her gaze darting between Nikki's stern face and the business documents. When Nikki asks what's wrong, Audra admits that Jill has been quietly moving pieces behind the scenes, trying to poach Newman Media talent and lure them over to Chancellor Winters with promises of higher pay and creative freedom. At first, Nikki doesn't flinch. She's dealt with sharks before. But when she hears that Jill's latest target is Nate Hastings, a trusted Newman ally who's been slowly regaining her confidence, Nikki's icy poise fractures. Jill Abbott has gone too far this time, Nikki says, her voice like glass breaking in slow motion. Jill's unapologetic agenda. Over at Chancellor Winters, Jill Abbott is unapologetically basking in her own brilliance. Catherine Chancellor's protege turned rival turned heiress has never been one to play small. With Billy back under her watchful eye and Devon and Lily walking a delicate line of peace, Jill senses the perfect opening to expand her empire. Her plan? To merge certain divisions of Chancellor Winters with other independent media startups, effectively challenging Newman Media's dominance. But what really sets her blood pumping is the idea of beating Nikki at her own game. When Billy warns her that poking Nikki could reignite old feuds and destabilize corporate alliances, Jill laughs. "Oh please, Billy," she quips. Nikki Newman has lived in Victor's shadow for decades. The moment she starts running things her way, she gets fragile. If she wants to play queen, she'd better be ready for war. Her words are sharp, but her motives go deeper than business. There's still a trace of old resentment in her heart, decades of competition, envy, and grudges buried under years of civility. Jill hasn't forgotten the way Nikki once dismissed her as nouveau riche, or how Victor always treated her as an outsider in Genoa City's elite circle. Now, with Catherine gone and Chancellor Winters under her command, Jill is determined to prove she's every bit as powerful as a Newman. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. The warning from Victor. Meanwhile, Victor Newman senses the brewing storm long before it reaches full force. His instincts have always been razor-sharp when it comes to protecting his empire and his family. Sitting behind his iconic desk at Newman Enterprises, he listens as Michael Baldwin briefs him about Jill's recent maneuvers. Victor leans back, his steely eyes narrowing. "So Jill Abbott thinks she can undercut Newman Media," he growls. "I admire her nerve, but I won't tolerate her meddling with my wife." Michael cautions Victor not to intervene. After all, Nikki has been insisting on autonomy. "Let her handle it her way," Michael advises. "You taught her to be strong, Victor. Let her show you how strong she's become." Victor agrees reluctantly. He's seen Nikki weather storms far worse than Jill's games. Still, as he gazes out the window, the faintest smile curls his lips. If Jill Abbott wants a war, he mutters, she's about to remember who taught Nikki how to fight. The showdown at Society. By midweek, word spreads across town that Nikki and Jill are meeting face-to-face at Society, ostensibly to clear the air, though everyone knows better. Abby, ever the diplomat, tries to smooth things over by arranging the lunch. But from the moment Nikki steps into the restaurant, it's clear this won't be a polite conversation. The atmosphere crackles with tension. Jill arrives fashionably late, her smile sharp as diamonds. Nikki sits tall, her hands clasped around a glass of sparkling water, every inch the picture of restraint. Nikki, Jill begins, her tone deceptively cordial. I hear there's been a misunderstanding. You seem to think I'm targeting Newman Media, when really, I'm just expanding opportunities. Competition is healthy, don't you think? Nikki's response is a dagger wrapped in velvet. Healthy competition is one thing. Undercutting my staff and whispering in my executives' ears? That's predatory, Jill. Even for you. Jill leans forward, eyes glittering. Oh, come now. You don't seriously believe I'd need to steal from you. I've built empires while you were still sipping champagne in Victor's penthouse. The room goes silent. Abby shifts nervously behind the bar, torn between her loyalty to both women. Nikki takes a slow sip of her drink before replying, You've built empires, Jill, but you've burned bridges along the way. Catherine would be disappointed to see what you've become. The name, Catherine Chancellor, lands like a grenade. Jill's expression hardens instantly. Don't you dare bring Catherine into this, she hisses. She'd understand why I'm doing this. She taught me to fight for what's mine. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I'm fighting for what's mine, Nikki replies coolly. By the time the confrontation ends, no one in Genoa City doubts it. The war between Nikki and Jill has officially begun. Collateral damage. The fallout is immediate. The next morning, corporate gossip spreads like wildfire. Employees at both Newman Media and Chancellor Winters are on edge, unsure where their loyalties should lie. Nate, who finds himself caught between two powerful women, struggles with temptation when Jill offers him a leadership position that could put him back in the driver's seat of his career. Meanwhile, Billy Abbott starts to feel the weight of his divided loyalties. His mother's ruthless streak reminds him of the woman who drove countless wedges between their family. Yet he also knows she's right about one thing: Newman power has dominated Genoa City for too long. Billy confides in Lily, who warns him to stay out of the feud. You know how Nikki and Jill operate, Lily cautions. Once you're caught in the middle, they'll both come for you. But Billy can't help himself. He's drawn to chaos like a moth to flame. And when he overhears Nikki discussing a potential counterstrike, a partnership with a new investor that could threaten Chancellor Winters' market share, he makes a dangerous decision: to leak that information to Jill. Claire and Audra, the unexpected alliance. Back at Newman Media, Claire Grace finds herself playing peacemaker and strategist. She's grown loyal to Nikki, who's given her a chance to prove herself despite her dark past. When she sees the stress starting to chip away at Nikki's composure, Claire steps in. I've been studying Jill's patterns, she tells Nikki. She's aggressive, but predictable. If we stay 3 moves ahead, she won't see what's coming. Nikki smiles proudly. You're starting to sound like Victor. But Audra has other ideas. Ever the opportunist, she sees the chaos as an opening to climb the ladder. While she appears to support Nikki publicly, she secretly meets with Jill, hinting that she might be willing to jump ship if the right offer comes along. Jill, amused but intrigued, tells her, keep your enemies close and your ambition closer. Unbeknownst to both women, Claire overhears their conversation, setting up yet another explosive confrontation for later in the week. A moment of reflection. That night, Nikki returns home to the Newman Ranch. The grand estate is quiet, bathed in moonlight, and for the first time in days, she lets herself breathe. She pours a glass of non-alcoholic wine and stands before a framed photo of herself and Victor. Sometimes I wonder if this is what I wanted, she whispers. To be respected or feared? Victor enters the room quietly, watching her. You've earned both, my love, he says. But never forget, being respected lasts longer. She turns to him with a faint smile. You always say that when you're about to tell me not to go too far. Victor steps closer. You can win this war, Nikki. Just remember who you are, and don't let Jill drag you down to her level. The tenderness between them is brief but grounding. Nikki nods, knowing he's right. Tomorrow, she'll fight smarter, not harder. The betrayal revealed. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. The next day, chaos erupts when Nikki discovers that confidential Newman strategy documents have leaked to Chancellor Winters. At first, she suspects Audra, but Claire's investigation reveals something shocking. Billy was the source of the leak. Nikki storms into society again, where Billy and Jill are having breakfast. The entire restaurant goes silent as she walks in. Enjoying the spoils of betrayal, she asks, voice trembling with rage. Jill smirks. Business is business, Nikki. Don't take it so personally. But Nikki does take it personally, and she lets them both know it. You've just declared war on the Newmans. And when the dust settles, you'll regret ever underestimating me. Billy looks uneasy, realizing too late that he may have gone too far. Jill, however, stays defiant. Bring it on, sweetheart, she says. I've fought bigger battles than you. As Nikki walks out, her heels echo like gunshots against the floor, the sound of a woman who refuses to be broken. A teaser of what's to come. By the end of the episode, the chessboard is set for a series of escalating moves. Nikki vows to expose Jill's backroom dealings and reclaim Newman Media's dominance. Jill doubles down, preparing a press announcement that will shake Genoa City's corporate world. Audra's loyalty is questioned, leaving her to choose between ambition and survival. Claire steps fully into her strategic role, emerging as Nikki's most trusted confidant. Victor, though watching from the sidelines, begins laying a quiet foundation for a counterattack of his own. The final scene closes with Jill standing alone in her office, staring at a photo of Catherine Chancellor. I'm not sorry, Kay, she says softly. You taught me to fight, and I'm still fighting. Across town, Nikki stands before the Newman Enterprises window, the city lights reflecting in her eyes. You want a war, Jill? She murmurs. Then let's make it unforgettable. Creative closing reflection. What makes this young and the Restless arc so powerful isn't just the clash between two business titans, it's what it represents. Nikki Newman and Jill Abbott are not just characters, they are living legacies of everything Y&R stands for: resilience, reinvention, and rivalry. Their confrontation isn't about who's richer or smarter, it's about who can adapt, who can endure, and who can outlast the other in a world built on shifting loyalties. As October continues, Genoa City is about to witness not just another feud, but a defining chapter in its history, one where power, pride, and passion collide in spectacular fashion. And when the dust finally settles, one truth will remain. In Genoa City, queens don't share thrones, they fight for them. Subscribe to the channel to get such videos.